Hey, everybody. This is Sharika Matthews of Live Life Beyond Barriers. I hope everyone has had a great day today and even a greater week this week. This has been another one of those unusual weeks here in Chicago. We got snow, I think, twice this week, and it's just Thursday. And by the way, it is April 19th. I don't know why there's still snow on the ground. So as you guys know, I'm still kind of struggling with this new weather out here, but I am grateful for it. I am grateful I'm able to have these experiences that's so different than what I'm used to experiencing. Because, when you decide to shift and move and change in your life, you have to be willing to experience something different. You have to be willing to experience something unusual. And so, but let me not go down that road right now, but that's another lesson for another day. Tonight, what I want to talk to you about is the topic of force to be reckoned with. Because if you haven't been living under a rock, you know that Beyonce put on a 2-hour performance this past weekend in Coachella, and she is breaking all kinds of records as usual. But as I haven't watched all 2 hours of the performance, but I have been following her leading up to the performance and even following her during the performance. Beyonce is really a force to be reckoned with. And she, in a sense, represents a lot of what a lot of us are striving to be. We desire to positively impact our communities. We desire to be an influencer amongst our family, amongst our friends, amongst our communities. But Beyonce, her name now represents success. It represents what it looks like, what you can accomplish when you set out to achieve a certain goal. So what I want to do is have that conversation, because when you look at Beyonce, even with Jay-Z, you look at Beyonce, and to a certain extent, she does kind of represent the Proverbs 31 woman. She is an entrepreneur. She is always out there building an empire. She is a mother. She is a wife. She has, 3 kids, and she speaks well of her husband. That's one thing about her, is that you don't see her or hear of her speaking a negative word about anybody, not even her husband. And so those are all the things that we pull out of that Proverbs 31 chapter when we talk about becoming a Proverbs 31 woman. And then you look at Jay-Z as well. And Jay-Z, in a sense, represents what a transformation can look like, what an evolution can look like in somebody's life. Because when you look at where he started, 20 years ago in the rap game to the man he has become now, that is a pure evolution. But we can talk about that on another day. What I want to talk to you about is how can you become the Beyonce of your life, of your community, of your circle, and how you can be epic while doing it, while living out your purpose, while pursuing your dreams. Because it takes a certain commitment and a certain focus in order to have that type of impact, to have that type of achievement. So what I'm going to share with you tonight are 5 things that you can do to create that epic life and to become that force to be reckoned with. So the first thing you want to do, I'm trying to get my notes situated here, is, as always, this is a Thursday night class. So if you haven't grabbed your pencil and paper to take notes, you might want to go do that. Because one thing I do pride myself on when I get online to give you these classes, these are truly classes. These are things that you want to take notes on, that you want to go back and review as often as possible and apply it to your life. Because information acquired doesn't do anything for you, but the information applied is what will change your life. So if you haven't already, go ahead and grab paper and pencil so you can get ready to take some notes. So the first thing you want to do to create an epic life and to become a force to be reckoned with is to set your goal and your intention. Intention, not attention, but intention. Because if you haven't learned anything from Beyonce, you have to learn this, is to be focused. Because when Beyonce set her focus to become the top entertainer, the top performer in the industry, that's exactly what she has done. And so the question you have to ask yourself is, where is your focus? Because the reason we're not really progressing in life, or we're not really leaving a mark in where we are on this earth, is because we haven't picked the focus. and we haven't committed to that focus. And the reason that it's hard for us to commit to a focus and stay focused on that focus is simply because we are choosing things that's not in alignment with the calling that's on our lives. Instead, we are choosing a focus based on what we think we should be doing, based on what we think will get us approval, or based on, what society thinks that we should be doing, or what someone else has told us to do. Sometimes, we grow up and we are taught that in order to be a good woman, you have to be a mother. So now we set our intention and focus on becoming a mother, when in reality, that may not be your specific calling. And I'll just use that as an example. But you have to make sure that you're in alignment with your gifts and the purpose and the calling that's on your life. And when you choose a focus that is in alignment, then you can make a commitment to it and you're able to stick to it. Plus, the thing about focus, especially focus in achieving anything in your life, is that distractions will come. And unless you're committed to the thing, unless your heart and your soul is tied to what you're committing yourself to, what you're focused on, you're going to be, distracted every time the wind changes direction, or every time a shiny new object comes up. That's why we can't get anywhere. And I'm going to give you this example that I gave, I don't know how long ago it was, but this is a prime example between the prey and the predator. And one of the things that science has taught us, one of the differences between the prey and the predator, is the location of their eyes. You see, the predator's eyes are in the front of their face. Why? Because they have to stay focused on what they're going after. But the prey, the thing that the predator hunts, their eyes are more on the side of their heads. Why? Because they need to see what's going on all around them. You see, the predator, when I think about the predator, I think of a lion, I think of a tiger, I think of a leopard. They're focused. I want you to go and watch the National Geographic channel, or the Animal Channel, and watch as a prey begins to scope out their predator. They are focused, boy. They put their heads down, they get their prey in sight, and they don't let anything distract them. But notice the prey, which is usually a deer or a gazelle. As soon as they see a leaf move over here, they're like, or they feel the wind move. They are easily distracted, and that's how some of us are, because we have taken on the position of the prey instead of the predator. We allow our eyes, we shift our eyes to the side of our heads so that we're seeing everything else is going on around us. And every time something, a bump in the road or a shiny new object or a new trend, we get distracted and go chasing after that. You cannot do that. You have to keep your intention on the goal that you have set for yourself. Keep your attention, your intention, and your focus on where you should be going. And so when you are in that place, when you choose that focus, whether it is to start a business, or like I said earlier in the group, if you are a single mother of 5 children, you have chosen to focus on attaining your law degree. Nothing is going to deter you away from that. Nothing is going to distract you from that focus. So I ask you again, what are you focused on? And is it tied to the purpose and the calling for your life? Okay? The second thing here is that you have to be willing to do what it takes. Now, this is a big one for a lot of us, because many of us want to do what's easy and not what's necessary. Think about that. We are always looking for an easy way to work out. We are always looking for an easy way to make money. We are always looking for an easy way to get across town. We are always looking for an easy way to do our jobs. But there are going to be some times you're not going to have an easy way. So you have to be willing to do what it takes. So using Beyonce as an example again, when she set her intention to create an epic performance and an epic experience for her viewers at Coachella, guess what she did? She began to work out twice a day. She had 8 to 10 hour long rehearsals every day. And she even went on a vegan diet. She did what she knew it was going to take to create the epicness, to create the experience, to create the impact that she desired to take. She didn't take any shortcuts. She wasn't looking for what was easy. She was looking for what was necessary. So let me ask you this. Are you doing what's necessary? Or are you doing the bare minimum? Are you doing what everybody else is doing? Because here's the thing, doing what's necessary is not always going to be easy. It's going to be hard. You will have some challenging moments, but you have the Spirit of God within you, and the Spirit of God gives you the strength. And whatever you cannot do, God can do for you. But you have to be willing to push yourself. You have to get out of your comfort zone, because working out twice a day is not easy. And I've done that before, y'all. It really is not easy. I did this workout program. Let me see, not summer of 2017, but summer of 2018, twice a day. Honey, when I tell you that was challenging, but at that time, losing weight and getting into shape was my main focus. So guess what? Every morning and every evening, I was in the gym. If work schedule got busy in the evening times, I would be in the gym as late as 9 or 10 o'clock at night. Why? Because I was focused, because I was committed, and I knew that what I was focused on was tied to the work I was doing at the time. So are you doing what's necessary in order to accomplish your focus? You have to be willing to get out of your comfort zone, because if you continuously stay in that comfort zone, you're not going to be epic. You're not going to live up to the fullest potential of your life. Okay? The third thing that you must do in order to become a force to be reckoned with is to take care of yourself during the process. You know, Beyonce is considered one of the hardest working people, or the hardest working person in the industry, right? And her results show it. But one thing that I do admire about her is that she has been upfront about what she does to take care of herself. So for example, as I mentioned earlier, she decided to go on a vegan diet in order to prepare herself this epic performance. Why? Because she knew that she needed to give herself the finest and the purest forms of food in order to fuel her body, to give her body the nutrients that it needed in order to not only to perform in the end, but to endure the workouts, to endure the preparation, to endure the practice, to make sure she was at her best self. So my question to you is, are you taking care of yourself? And yes, it's hard. It's hard to make time to take care of yourself. But let me tell you this. In order for you to live out your life fully, honey, you have to take care of yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally and spiritually, because you're not going to be a great husband. You're not going to be a great wife. You're not going to be a great mother, and you're not going to be a great influencer or leader if your mind ain't right, if your spirit ain't right, if your body is not right. And when I refer to your body, you guys, I'm not saying that you have to be a certain size or a certain shape, but your body has to be able to fuel you to move, to carry out your purpose, to be that wife. And I've used this example before, you guys. This is to my married people here. You need to have some energy to satisfy your spouse sexually. You need to have some energy to satisfy your spouse mentally. You need to have some energy to take care of your spouse spiritually, because you guys are one. When you come together in marriage, you become one. And so you are responsible for taking care of each other. You cannot take care of each other if you get winded by walking up five steps. You cannot take care of each other if you are not spiritually centered and strong. You cannot pray for him. It's hard for you to pray for him and to pray over him and to pray with him. You haven't been praying for yourself. If you haven't been getting in the word yourself, you haven't been making sure that you're spiritually aligned with God. You have to take care of yourself. Let me tell you, it is very tempting to sacrifice yourself in the process of getting to where you're going. And in society, society does a lot to celebrate those who tend to sacrifice themselves. And while some sacrifice is required, you cannot sacrifice yourself to the point of detriment. So for example, what are your priorities in life? What are your priorities for yourself? You know, my priority is to take care of myself spiritually. So I make sure that I set aside some time, whether it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes every day, to talk to God, to meditate, and to be quiet. So I make sure that I am connected spiritually. No matter how busy it may get, that is a priority in my life. Now, will I have time to work out every single day? No, but I make it a priority during the week to work out at least 3 times a week. That is my priority because I know that I have to take care of myself in order to carry out the calling on my life. So whether it is being a coach, whether it's being a teacher, whether it's eventually to be a wife and a mother, I have to make sure that I am in the right state of being in order to carry out my purpose, in order to carry out my responsibilities to the best of my ability. And that's the thing that we really do have to understand, is that I want to take that back about doing the best. I really want you to do what's required, because sometimes we convince ourselves that our best is our limit, but when what's required of you will cause you to push past your limit. You see, our comfort zone is our limit. So you say, I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to work out for 20 minutes. Well, why don't you do what's required and work out for 30 minutes? What's required is for you to work out 30 minutes at least 3 times a week. So whether you are walking or whether you are running, why not do what's required? We shift our perspective and our thinking to doing what's required of you to get to your goal, then you will do it. Just like, use an example I said earlier about Beyonce working out twice a day and switching to a vegan diet, and having the rehearsals 8 to 10 hours a day. She did what was required in order to reach her goal. Now, is that an everyday occurrence where she's working out twice a day and having 8 to 10 hour rehearsals? No. She did what was required to perform, to create an epic performance for the crowd. And guess what? She has gone down in the history books because she did what was required, not her best. Because her best could possibly be to just work out once a day and to just rehearse 3 or 4 hours a day. That was probably her best, but she pushed herself to do what was required to give her the results that she knew that she wanted to have. So are you doing what's required to take care of yourself, and are you doing what's required in order to reach your goals, to reach the thing that you're focused on? Okay. And so number 4, the fourth point here, in order to live an epic life and to become a force to be reckoned with, is to know when to take a break. And we are so easy on ourselves, you guys. We want to take a break. We want to take a break in the pursuit of our goals, or take a break, every time we reach a little milestone to celebrate. But you really want to take a break when you have achieved your goals. You see, I'm going to use dieting as an example, or I'm going to use dieting as an example. It's an easy example to do. So you have a goal of losing 20 pounds in the next 2 months. And so this is your first week, and you're working out and you're eating right. You get on the scale and you're like, oh, I have lost 2 pounds this week. Yay. And so that means I get to celebrate. I'm going to have me some chocolate cake. I'm going to have a couple glasses of wine. I'm going to do all this stuff to celebrate my success. But have you really been successful? You haven't reached your goal. Your goal was to lose 20 pounds, but you got to day 6, got on the scale and said, I lost 2 pounds. I lost 10% of my goal. And now you're celebrating. You're taking a break from all the hard work you've been doing. But in that break, you have broken your momentum. Think about that. The reason that you saw results is that you laid a foundation and you built momentum towards your goal. And that momentum is what keeps you going to keep building and building and building in order to achieve the goal that you set out for yourself. But as soon as you take a break, as soon as you decide, oh, I got a little win, so I deserve a break. No, you deserve to reach your goals. No, you deserve to become the best version of yourself. No, you deserve to have an epic life. But you have to know when to take a break. You take the break when you reached your goal. And when I say take a break, I don't mean rest, because we all have to rest. When I say take a break, that means to unplug. That means to take your focus off of achieving the goal, off of all the extra work that you have to do to get to where you are. It's to take a break from that because you have achieved it, to allow yourself to recharge mentally, physically, and spiritually, so that when you come off of your break, you're ready and fully charged to hit your next goal. So you have to know when to take a break, and don't break up the momentum of your success, because once you break up that momentum, that's what's causing you to start all over again, because you lost the 2 pounds, decided to have pizza and candy and all this good stuff. On the 7th day, you weigh yourself again, and heck, you done gained the 2 pounds back. So guess what that means? Got to start all the way back over and build up that momentum again. And this is why we get discouraged on our journey, because we're not being consistent. We're not putting on, we're not doing the work continuously in order to achieve the results we want to have. So know when to take a break. And this doesn't just apply to losing weight. This applies to building a business. This applies to preparing yourself for marriage. This applies to the pursuit of a degree or something like that. You have to know when to take a break so that you don't disturb your momentum, because that momentum that you build is what's going to get you the results that you desire. Okay? Point number 5, the last one here. This one is simply to slay. Go out there and slay. No holds barred, and just be unapologetically you. You show up ready to take what's yours. You show up knowing that this is where you're supposed to be. And when I say go out there and slay, that doesn't mean go out there with an attitude and, using sharp words and stuff like that. When I say slay, it is your posture. It is how you show up. You walk into the place knowing that what's meant for you is already yours. You show up to the place saying, you know what? I am supposed to be here. I'm not leaving till I get what I came for. Whether it's the success, whether it's the man, whether it's the promotion, whether it's the company, whatever it is you go for, you show up and you do what you have to do in order to get what you're going after. And when I say it's a posture, it's literally physically walking with your back straight. It's literally walking with your chin up. Not in a stuck-up kind of way, but your chin up, not down. Not being apologetic for, for showing up in a place where you're not invited, because there are some places that you have to go that you won't be invited, and there are some places that you have to go that people don't want you to be there. But if God has led you to a place, you show up and you stand there in confidence in yourself and confidence in God, that whatever God has brought you to, He has already equipped you and given you the favor and giving you the tools that you need to go after what it is that you desire. You have to show up and slay. And when you have that posture, you are not allowed to feel sorry for yourself. You are not allowed to play the victim. Why? Because that victim mentality, that feeling sorry for yourself mentality is what's going to push you back. It's not going to propel you forward. You see, when you know that what you're going after is already yours, when you know that God has already aligned you in order to receive everything you're going after, you have no reason to feel sorry for yourself. Yeah, you may have, had a setback. You may have some challenges. You may have had some fights that you had to fight. And you may feel as if that you're losing. You may feel as if you're getting beat up. But those are just your feelings, because the reality is that you have already won. The reality is that what's divinely meant for you can never be taken away from you. That is the truth. And that is where your confidence comes from. Your confidence comes from the truth of knowing who you are, the truth of knowing what is yours, and the truth in knowing that God has equipped you with the strength, with the courage, and the discipline to do what it takes to go after and to claim everything that is yours. That is what it means to slay. That is how you actually get up, you show up, and you create an epic life. That is how you become a force to be reckoned with. Because here's the thing. You can't do what everybody else does. If you have a calling on your life, if you're going after what you want, you see, the average person gives up. The average person just does their best. But you're no longer average. You are extraordinary. You have the ability and you have the insight and you have the wisdom to be, do, and have any and everything your heart's desire. You do. So you cannot do what other people do. You cannot celebrate after you lose the 2 pounds. You cannot only work out twice a day. You have to do what is required. Because if you do what everybody else has done, then you will be just like everybody else. You will be, in that percentile where your marriage ends in divorce. You will be in that percentile where you hate your job. You will be in that percentile where you're, an 80-year-old single woman who's never been married and all she has is like 20 cats living in her house. You will be those stereotypes because you're doing the average of what the average people does. Now, or do, that was bad English. But if you want to be different, if you want to live a great life, if you want to be an influencer in your community, an influencer in your family, an influencer in the world that you live in, it's time for you to step it up. It's time for you to call yourself to a higher level. It's time for you to set higher standards for yourself and for your life. Because if you are listening to this, you are meant to hear this video. You are meant to hear this class. And so this is your calling to step it up. Step up your game. You have the ability. You truly do, to be the Beyonce of your life, to be the Beyonce of your family, to be the Beyonce of your community. Now, whether or not you like her as a person, you agree with her philosophy, one thing you cannot take away from her are her results. If you want epic results in your life, if you want epic results on the job, if you want epic results in the business, you got to do epic things. You have to do epic work. And you have to be willing to do the work. Do what it takes. All right, you guys, I hope that this video was truly a blessing to you. If you have any questions about anything I said here tonight, leave a comment below. If this was a blessing to you, invite people into the group here. Invite or share this video to whomever you believe needs to hear this. But what I really want you to do is to apply these 5 principles to your life. I want you to set your focus and attention. I want you to be willing to do what it takes. I want you to take care of yourself in the process. Know when to take a break and to go out and slay. That's really all you got to do. And rinse and repeat. Every time you knock out a goal, you rinse and repeat. Do those 5 steps again. And you continue to do it, because that is how you live an epic life. That is how you experience life to its fullest, and you experience the life that God really wants you to experience. All right, you guys, again, thank you for joining me here tonight. If you have any questions or comments, leave a comment below. If you are a woman who really wants some help in really figuring out how to live the epic life that's meant for you, meaning discovering your passion, discovering your purpose, discovering the gifts that you have to contribute to the world, to contribute to your family, or contribute to your workplace. If you are that woman who is looking for something like that, then just leave me a message below or send me an inbox here on Facebook, or if you watch this on YouTube, just send me a message here and let me know, hey, I really want to talk to you to see how I can create a strategy or a plan to get me from where I am to an epic and fulfilling life, because I really want to have a great marriage. I really want to be a great parent, or I really want to excel in my career or start a good business. If that is you, just simply leave a comment below and say, Sharika, let's have a conversation. And I'll reach out to you and schedule that conversation with you. All right, you guys, again, thank you for joining me here tonight, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.